Hello,
Hi.
can you hear us?
Yeah.
Um,
Can you hear me fine?
Yes,
Okay, cool.
yes. Hello there. I believe I followed you recently on socials, haven't I? It took me a while.
Yeah,
I do apologise.
yeah. I think you have on LinkedIn, I think.
That's right, yeah. Because sometimes you see people that you may know them and you think, oh, I do recognise them. Oh, yeah, they're in my festival. So I should be their friend. Holly's
Yeah.
with me. You
Hi.
probably seen her
Hello.
before. Welcome. So, yeah, so we're just going to do a quick, let's go through some basic questions. It should only take like 20, 25 minutes, if that's all right.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. So I'm going to start with a real basic one, really, which is kind of like really obvious, but where did the love of film come from? Like, when is there any films or actors or things growing up where you thought, do you know, I wouldn't mind doing that?
Um, yeah, I've always loved like film and TV. Like it's always been like a big hobby of mine. I'm definitely not like a sporty person. I'm definitely more like creatively minded, I think. But I really love the film The Outsiders, which is like an 80s like teen kind of film. And then I got really into like 80s like teen films like specifically from that era. And I feel like that was the first time I really got into like a specific like part of film. And then yeah, like during like A levels I did film studies, which is like my favorite subject. Um and yeah, and I really loved I went and saw Little Women in 2019, the like Greta Gerwig one. And I loved that. And I went into it thinking that I wasn't gonna like it. I honestly kind of just went because
Hmm.
Timothy Chalamet's in it and I love him.
Of course, yeah.
Um, but yeah, and I watched it and I really, really enjoyed it. And like the source material is like really old and I kind of thought it might be just a bit too like period for me, but I love like what she did with that version and like the way she handled Amy in that version. And yeah, so I really enjoyed watching that and I feel like that was like really like inspirational and I kind of yeah, like I love that and it was like really like female centered and everything. Yeah. So I feel like that film like really inspired me to like want to direct films as well.
Outsiders, is that like Tom Cruise and Patrick Stewart
Yeah.
when they were really young, like a black and white? Is it black and white? Oh no, it's maybe not.
Uh
But
no, it's not black and white, but it is set in like the 60s, but it's like a 80s like film. But yeah, I love like 60s like settings of stuff.
yeah,
And I really like that one. And it was the first kind of one that I'd watched like that. Because it is like that's a very like male film, but I do really love that. And I think it's really like nicely like shot with all the sunsets. I think it's like really, and I think you can kind of tell that the book is written by women, just the way that the characters are really likable. And yeah, kind of just the way it's shot and everything.
well, that's quite interesting that you say that. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna come to writing then. I suppose with your film, which we've both seen, and I really enjoyed it. A
Thank
little
you.
bit different from what we usually like to see. I like that. You had a writing partner, I believe. So I mean,
Yeah.
how did you come up with the idea first of all? What conceived it? But how was it writing with someone else?
Yeah, so me and Kaden, my co-writer, we both really love witches. So we thought it'd be really interesting to do something with witches. And we'd done our second year uni film together, like we'd written it together. And we knew that we like worked really well together. So yeah, I think like going into it, I knew that it was kind of gonna go well because yeah, we knew that he does like some different stuff. He's really, really into horror, and I'm like more into like coming of age. But yeah, like but we both like witches because that is like something that's in like a lot of different genres. So we thought it'd be really interesting to do something about witches. But we also didn't want to make it like a stereotypical like negative portrayal of witches because I think sometimes they're shown as like either really undesirable and kind of just like evil who use like magic for bad, or they're shown like the opposite, like really, really seductive, like women who kind of like don't have a partner, they kind of just seduce people and are shown like, yeah, on just complete opposite ends. So we really wanted to do something that was like really positive representation of witches and like fun and whimsical, not just like dark. We wanted like bright kind of visuals. I really love and so does Caden, Sabrina the Teenage Witch and all of like
Mm.
the 90s like witch resurgence, like the craft and everything. So yeah, we're really inspired by like that kind of era of witches. And we loved witches, so we thought it'd be really fun to like do a film about that.
Yeah, it's good that you said that. Like the different expectations to the two that you mentioned there because yours is not that. Yours was like watching just people being at college or whatever and just
Yeah.
normal. You didn't think, well, the witches this is odd. You just
Yeah.
accepted it. You know, they hung out together at night. They went into class. They had sort of discriminated a little bit. They were like young people. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Holly, do you have a question about the film?
Yeah, I did. It's kind of along the same lines. So I loved the film. But I
Thank you.
also really specifically loved the set design, the costume, the hair. I just thought it all came together really beautifully. And I just wondered
Thank
kind
you.
of how you built that visual identity and if there were any sort of inspirations for it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So we made like I always make like a mood board on Pinterest for films. I think
Yeah.
it's so useful to have just like one for set and costumes and everything. And we were, yeah, definitely inspired by those like kind of 90s ones.
Hmm.
But yeah, like The Craft, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, like also The Love Witch. Not really the plot of that film, but I love the visual style of The Love Witch. And I know that Annabella did a lot of that herself. And I think kind of to us, I just proved that like you can do it like yourself. So me and Kaden, because we did, yeah, like the costumes and the production design, we
Hmm.
spent a lot of time like going through like charity shops, like her boot sales, like looking for stuff for it and getting, yeah, like jewelry and costume. And yeah, we wanted to kind of have a cohesive like group look and also that each individual character kind of had their own thing. So
Hmm.
Lila, we really wanted to be like purple and very like whimsy goth kind of inspired. Like she, I think, is the most inspired by Sabrina from Sabrina Teenage Witch. And then um Fern is more like looks visually kind of like Nancy from The Craft.
Hmm.
But yeah, they were all inspired by kind of witches in media and also a lot of like the references were like pictures from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which Caden he loves Buffy and he really
Mhm.
likes I haven't actually seen it, but I'm familiar with like a lot of it because of him.
Hmm.
He really likes I think it's Willow and Tara who are the witches of that show, and yeah, a lot of those of their outfits as well. But yeah, we had to kind of look a lot and look around for stuff like because we are on like a really small like budget because it was just us getting stuff. But yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned purple there, yeah. Like, is that does that represent the witches? I suppose it does in some sense, a bit of a Halloween color, but or is purple your favorite color? Because especially at the beginning, it's everywhere.
Yeah, my favorite color is pink, but I do love purple as well. I feel like that's very close.
Close.
Yeah. And I feel like purple comes up a lot for witches. Yeah, like Sabrina has a lot of purple. The in the craft there is like tones of purple. I think Rochelle wears some purple in that. And I think it's a great color because it can be dark or light. Like it's purple's used a lot in Halloween, but I also think like purple's like a royal color. It's used in Christmas. Even like Easter has a lot of lilac. I think it's really versatile. And yeah, and that's how we kind of came up with her name because Lila kind of is similar to lilac.
Ah,
So
yes.
we thought it would be like a fun little like yeah. Um, but yeah, and I think Kaden he liked the purple idea for her as well. And we really wanted the room to have a lot of purple just to kind of show that like it was her room when we were opening. And yeah, I love like openings like that where you can really tell like the character's individual style. I think like in Pretty in Pink, we really like that opening with Andy has like all the pink stuff in the opening, and you can really tell it's like her room and kind of sets her up as the protagonist.
I love that you know these films from the 80s as well, because people of your age, you mention a film or you mention a band like the Beatles, and they'll be like, "Well, I wasn't born then," but it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. You can still look at stuff, you know, and you know a lot of these 80s films. That's really refreshing, to be fair. And we did spot the posters as well on the wall.
Yeah.
This even like Daisies from the 60s. You know, you had a lot of female-directed films on the wall, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I love Daisies. That's one of my favorite films. I think it's like so great that it was made in the 60s, but I feel like something like that could have been made now. Like it's like really timeless, especially for girls and that.
Absolutely, yeah. Um, so the cast and crew, then, how did you find that cast? I mean, did you like have a proper process? Was it just your friends or whatever? Or and the crew, who was like the camera person, and how did that collaboration come together? Were you like facing deadlines and things like that?
Yeah, so it was our final year uni project.
Mhm.
So yeah, me and Kaden knew we were going to write it, and Alina, who was the cinematographer, we worked with her the previous year to do a film. So we definitely knew that we were going to work together. And then Lucy, our producer, like approached us about working together as a group, and Ashley, who did the sound as well. Yeah, so I was really excited because we were like a majority female crew, which is like refreshing on because our course is a lot of like guys. And I yeah, just think in films in general, like it's a lot of like majority male stuff. So and yeah, our cast is like nearly all women. So we were really excited for that. And yeah, in terms of finding the cast, yeah, so Lucy was the producer and she knew Faye. I think they did like a musical together. And then Astrid, who is Fern, we worked with her the year before on another film, and we asked her to be in this one. And yeah, thank God she said yeah again.
Mm.
And then Lucy, who is the producer, is actually in it. She plays Rose, and then Misty is Ashley, who did the sound, and
Wow.
Freya is played by Izzy, who was like kind of a friend of a friend. It was more like people that we knew had an interest in acting, that we like asked. We didn't have like a full casting process because honestly, it's really difficult to find people for student films.
Yeah.
Um, and we did post, yeah, like a couple things like around our uni and everything, but yeah, we didn't hear much back. I think people are just really busy with deadlines, and then like to try approach professional people is really complicated because we can't pay them. So yeah,
Mm.
we just kind of use like friends. And Astrid, she has like worked professionally, and we like found her before, so that was great. And I think Faye, like she doesn't do acting professionally that I'm aware of, but yeah, she was interested in like musicals, and she was great. So we're so happy to find them because I think they worked really well together, which was the thing that was most important to us. I think that Lila and Fern like seemed like they could have made a connection super fast, like in their characters.
Yeah, one thing I'm going to say is that on that is like the acting was good, and do you know what, you set kind of the character dynamics really early on. I really like that. Like within the first couple of minutes, you had an idea, or you knew somebody like that. They were all different, so that was
Yeah.
really clever what you did there. As a director, then, are you quite like a million takes, or are you just? Would you say you're quite strict and rigid, or are you quite let the actors do what they want?
Um, yeah, we couldn't get as many takes as I would have liked just because it was a student film and we had like about a week and a half to film it. So it's quite difficult. Yeah, on the day that we did the pink scene, that's the still right now. I did make sure we got a lot of takes of that because that was really important. But for the rest of it, I kind of yeah, I felt like we got what we needed, and I kind of, if the actors like wanted to do something for a take, like I was fine with that as well. I think it makes it more natural, especially when it's not like professional actors. I think it's easier for people if they want to tweak the lines and make it something more similar to what they would say that is natural to them.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think I am a little bit of a perfectionist in some senses, but yeah, it's kind of hard to get all the takes that you would have liked just with like the time frame of everything.
Yeah, I suppose you have to be a bit of a perfectionist as a director because you sort of have this control, but you have a vision as well, obviously. But I
Yeah.
suppose my final question on the production itself is: did you have what was a particular big difficulty that you had that you overcame or scrapped altogether? Perhaps what was the big like struggle that you had that you managed to overcome?
Um, Honestly, yeah, finding the people was difficult because we didn't have someone to play Freya for ages. We did get Izzy to do it at the end, which was great. So that was quite difficult because we didn't have a lot of time for the actors to meet in advance to like
Mm.
form like so that they all knew each other so that when we filmed it, it kind of seemed natural and authentic, which I feel like is quite important. But
Yeah.
so on the day, I think we just tried to make it really because it was a pretty small crew, like make it really comfortable for everyone so that they could all kind of get to know each other. And yeah, I just didn't want it to be awkward or seeming like just intimidating for anyone. I think that can be really stressful and like I would find that really stressful. So yeah, we just tried to keep it like really like natural, like while we were filming and like behind the scenes, so that like on screen they could seem like they really were friends. And yeah, so just on the day, I think it's good to be like calm and because I think if I showed a lot of stress, then everyone else would be stressed out as well, and it's just like not a nice environment. So I think the biggest thing for us was just trying to make a nice, calm environment while also like having to have like a small time frame because we are like a student film.
Right, absolutely. Holly's got a bit of experience with student life as well. Holly, do you have another question?
Yeah, in terms of being a student, I've just finished
Yeah.
a film course as well.
Oh,
And
nice.
you're so right about it being kind of like male dominated already.
Yeah.
And I just kind of wondered if you had any advice for film students in general who are trying to kind of break into short film, specifically female film students who are kind of
Yeah.
navigating this environment.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. I think definitely um for me, like trying to form like friendships, and I think people kind of gravitate towards like the girls on our course. Like I know like all of the girls on my course like quite well because I think we all kind of stick together in a way.
Yeah.
So I think that's really important for like when there's not many girls on our course, to try to get to know the other girls, because I think most of the time like you think similarly, and it's easier like with projects. Because I think yeah, a lot of the boys on my course like they don't really know like this same films that I like.
Mm.
And so when you want to do a group project, even if like one of them like doesn't want to be the director and like, but they want a project that to them is something that they would like to make. And I'm the same, and like I want to make something about girls, and I think some guys don't want to do that. So I think yeah, it's really important to find people who feel similarly. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
agree. I think you need to stick together. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I hear that a lot, yeah. And what's next for you then? What's your ambitions now? Where do you go from here? Are you going to make something else? Do you want to keep writing?
Yeah. I definitely want to do a film master's. Like, I think I'm going to take a year out because I just finished, yeah, my 3-year course. I really enjoyed it, but yeah, it was quite like a lot. Like, so I think I want to take a year out and think of a really good project for a master's to do. Because yeah, I am really interested in doing directing in the future. Like, I loved it in my course. And I definitely want to continue making stuff that is like female centered, about girls. I think like what I would love to like see in the industry kind of in the future is just more like female like films and TV shows that are made for women and like written and directed by women, and also don't always just show like the struggles of women. I think sometimes stuff is really dark, or kind of when it's historical, it's good, like it's good representation, but I would love to see more like lighthearted, fun, like media for women in the future.
Like it, yeah. Holly, do you have any more questions?
Um, I don't think so. I guess I kind of just wanted to say that, like you just said about more like positive representations of these topics or tropes or whatever. I really loved how there was a real sense of like unity between the
Yeah.
girls. And I just wanted to say that I really like that because the focus wasn't necessarily on kind of the witch side of things. It
Yeah.
was a very real human friendship group in there. And I just think that was, I just wanted to say I really appreciated that. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, that's what I just hoped people got like when they
Mm.
watched it, that like seeing like female friendship that wasn't like toxic, and yeah, like a
Mm.
queer female relationship that was just like fun and yeah, like lighthearted.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So thank
and
you.
there were, yeah, they weren't perfect. They made mistakes, and I found that
Yeah,
some of that quite funny, especially the second
thank you.
half. It was quite, oh, well, oh my goodness, yeah, it was funny. Yeah, well, thank you very much, Eva. Really appreciate it. Really looking forward to speaking to you, and I'm glad we've done so.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was so nice to speak to both of you.
It's
Marvelous,
so
and we'll
nice to
speak
chat with
again.
you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, have a good evening.
Okay, you too.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.